Good evening, and welcome to Football Now, Deacon Himself. I just want to, before anything, I want to say I hope everyone enjoyed the games last week as always, but today is a very special day. I want to give a big shout out to the birthday boy himself, my man Maine. He's becoming an old man now, and he'll be collecting Social Security soon. Happy 33rd birthday to my man Maine. Anyway, now let's start with the real fun. San Francisco, St. Louis. I did say that the Niners were going to rebound on this game, and they did. First quarter was very rough. It's becoming that the Thursday night games were very interesting, and now it's very competitive games. That game was very interesting, like I said, in the first quarter. Rams held it tight, but they fall to 35-11 to the Niners. Colin Kaepernick, a rebound game, 2 touchdowns, and Frank Gore had one as well on the ground. Buffalo at home. If you guys are following this and really paying attention to what I said, then you'll know that I said E.J. Manuel doesn't turn the ball over. Buffalo is going to beat the Super Bowl champs. And indeed they did. 23-20, big win for Buffalo. I'm happy for them. They deserve it. They're an up-and-coming team. And the AFC East is probably right now the most competitive division. Underestimated. You have 4 teams that will not give up. They just have the heart to just go, and every week you never know what you're going to get out of them, and it's great. Those games are going to be great to watch in between the division games. Cincinnati on the road at Cleveland. I was very disappointed in the effort I seen from Andy Dalton. Browns defense 2-2 now, 2 consecutive wins, and they're going to get back on track now. The up-and-coming Cleveland Browns, good job for them, 17-6 win. Chicago on the road in Detroit was just a nightmare. Nightmare is not even the word I can describe for the Chicago Bears, and they are in trouble as they will host New Orleans next week, and they are in trouble as they fall to the division rival Detroit Lions 40-32. I like the way that they played throughout the first 3 games, and then something happened, and division games are always tough. We'll see what happens next go-around with each of these teams. Good win for the Lions. After being down 20-3, the Seattle Seahawks showed me why they potentially may be the best team in the NFC, as they came back in Houston to win that game 23-20 in overtime. Russell Wilson, Marshawn Lynch, great job as always. And honestly, the defense looked very well. Like, they played very well, but the monstrous line of the Houston Texans had that game, and then Seattle found a way to give Russell Wilson the protection that he needed. Couple big runs from him out of the pocket, and next thing you know is that the Seattle Seahawks come back and they win this game in overtime. May I add, a very late, lengthy overtime, because it was late into the overtime that Seattle actually won it. I was very happy I took Seattle. Don't tell anybody, but I took Seattle. I did mention that last week, and I'm very happy with that game. Indianapolis, like I said, crushed Jacksonville 37-3 in Jacksonville. It was just a disastrous game to watch, and if you're a Jaguar fan, then I would invest in becoming a fan of another team, because your team is not doing anything. Pittsburgh, Minnesota, and London, APAD, 2 touchdowns, beautiful touchdowns, may I add. It was just like playing Madden, the way he was running the ball. It was the Adrian Peterson show in London, and a pair of 0-3 teams. Like I said, Pittsburgh is going to be 0-4. They fall 27-34. New York Football Giants on the road. How about them Kansas City Chiefs? As the Kansas City Chiefs roll. That game was not close. Start to finish, Kansas City dominated that game, except for one big play by Victor Cruz, where he had a 10-yard sprint past the corner of Kansas City and just dominated that play. Complete control, and the Giants thought they were going to have the momentum. Kansas City came right back down the field, scored, then scored again, and then scored yet again, and the Giants fell 31-7. Tampa Bay at home versus Arizona. Tampa Bay with Josh Freeman not playing, down 13-10. They lost. Arizona got their second win of the season, and that's good for them. Good for the Arizona Cardinals. They're doing good. In a division where you're playing the Niners, the Rams, and Seattle. Every year this division has a low win team. who somehow at the end of the season could sneak in to the playoffs, and that's how scary this division is. But with the NFC coming and potentially could be more dominant than the AFC the way the teams are, that's a scary division to play in. Even though you have the Niners and you have the Seahawks, you still have these teams like the Rams and the Cardinals in that division that are dangerous. The next one on the agenda, New York Jets, Tennessee Titans. I'm not going to talk about this game much. Gangrene, 38-13, my apologies. They just got destroyed. Don't want to talk about it. Denver at Philly, another one I don't want to talk about because I told you that it was going to happen. Denver setting franchise record for most points in a single game by the Denver Broncos organization. Hats off to Peyton Manning beating up on the Eagles. The Eagles hung in there for the first half, but in any event of you playing Peyton Manning, you cannot kick field goals. You have to put 6 on the board, and that's what they didn't do. The Eagles kicked field goals, and Peyton Manning scored touchdowns, and that was it. Defense played great. No excuse, Chip Kelly. Until you figure him out, I guess he was looking sharp in the first couple of games. Washington, Oakland, a game I was very surprised about. I turned around and I said that I liked the Oakland Raiders. They lost 24-21. Hats off RG3 to his first win of the season. By the way, just for you fans out there of either Oakland or San Diego, Bolt Power, Oakland Nation, Black Hole. The Oakland Athletics are playing Saturday night, so the game on Sunday that's supposed to be in Oakland is going to be moved to 11:35 Eastern Standard Time. So be prepared to take a nap to wake up to watch that game because King Philip's going to destroy the Oakland Raiders like the Chargers always do. Speaking of the San Diego Chargers, how about them Chargers? Beating up on the Dallas Cowboys 30-21. New England on the road 30-23. Tommy Brady and company getting it done. Hats off to them. Miami, close game. No, it wasn't. New Orleans doing something that no other team has done. Drew Brees has won 9 games on Monday Night Football, and he in route 38-17 of the Miami Dolphins. That's it for me tonight. Catch me on Thursday for all my fans, and we'll make sure that we'll reiterate some of the jokes about the rest of the teams that are winless and the rest of the teams that we all don't like but just don't want to say it. And then we'll preview the games for this week coming up. Couple good, interesting games. We should see some fun ones. But for now, Deacon himself, I'm out.